Many stories have been written about James Bond. We already know all about his life. But you had to create, in fact, a new James Bond. How difficult was that?
For us, it more than a challenge. We saw it as an opportunity. So what we did is we set out, and we wanted to tell a completely original, reimagined origin story of James Bond. So it's a version of him that you've never seen before. He's not yet at MI6. He doesn't have his 00 status yet. He's still very young. He's fresh out of the Royal Navy. And that meant that with that came a lot of creative freedom for us to tell the story we want to tell, but also to take the player with you on the journey as he earns the number. So there's that sense of progression and that sense of purpose that he's going for, that you as the player get to partner alongside him as the character and be along for the ride. And that was something that was very exciting for us.
Because, like I said, many of his life has been written during all those years in the movies. So were there any restrictions, things that you had to take care of before you create your own James Bond?
So we have a close collaboration with our partners at Amazon and GM, and they trust us with the creative license to create the best experience that we want to bring to players. When it comes to the narrative as well, from the beginning. I think it was fairly simple and easy. The collaboration as well, because the story that we put forth, that we want to tell, was exciting and enticing to them as well. Something that hasn't been told before, and therefore we do our due diligence to make sure that we stay authentic to the franchise and the lore. So there's a lot of familiarity in some things. For example, characters along the way. We have Q, we have M, Moneypenny, these kind of things. So there are certain key elements that stay in place, but how we weave the story in between that, as I said, it's a reimagining, and that's pretty exciting.
Yeah, there are also these days, the last weeks, last months, even last years, many talks about who should be the new James Bond actor. Some people said, for example, you take Idris Elba, for example. There have been many names. How did you decide how because I call him your James Bond, looks like?
Yeah.
Because in the beginning, the first trailer, I had something, he looks a bit like Tom Cruise, for example.
Yeah. No, I think what you state there as well is it's a great distinction. For us, we're aiming to usher in a new chapter for Bond in gaming.
Okay.
So even though the filmmakers are aware of us and they're excited for us, it is definitely two separate spheres.
Okay,
exactly. And so for us, when it came to the character we wanted to create, as I said, we looked at all the source material, not just the films and additional media, but we went back to the original novels from Ian Fleming as well. There are a few details that we pulled out of that even with our previous announcement trailer, some eagle-eyed fans spotted the scar that we placed on his face.
Yep.
That's something that wasn't in the films, but we decided, this is an area of where we get to move in and to partake in that a little bit. So wherever we can make it fresh and new, that is where we have played our focus to bring the best quality experience to life.
When we talk about First Light, of course, it's an action adventure, if I'm right, shooter video game. Which one you try to attract the gamers? Do you think that you will also attract the fans of the James Bond movies who perhaps don't play games to try the game?
Yeah, I mean, that's a great question. I think so. I think definitely that there is a great offering of place here. I mean, we are putting together a video game blockbuster experience, a highly cinematic, narrative-driven. What the game is at its core is it's a third-person, story-driven action adventure. So those who are familiar with Bond will definitely be able to get a lot out of this. There's a lot of immersion that we put into it. So as you're moving through the world, the different locations, different missions that you go on, you might find yourself in some familiar areas that you come to expect from Bond. And we want you as a player to be able to get immersed into that and look around. So there's for sure the action adventure side, which fans who perhaps are not that familiar with Bond, there's something there for them that they get to attach onto, that they get to enjoy. The stealth action, the combat, the gunplay, the gadgetry. that whole adventure. But then as well, those who are finding themselves deeper connected to the lore, there's plenty enough for them to discover as well. So I definitely think no matter who you are, there's something here for you and you'll be able to enjoy that.
Yeah, let's talk about the gameplay itself. I'll be honest with you, the first time I saw the presentation, I thought like in the beginning, damn, I'm watching a Hitman game where Hitman has a lot of hair. And then you suddenly made the switch. We were dazzled by the action, cinematics, gameplay, cinematics again, details like when he was out of ammo, he threw the weapon, and then you see a weapon on the ground, he takes his foot, he kicks it up, and that was crazy.
Amazing.
For a studio, with all due respect, who has the habit of making stealth games. So was that also for you perhaps a unique opportunity to do something completely different, because it's all about, I saw so many details when he fell down with the parachute, when he passed through the car, the plane that was going left to right, which had an impact
you controlled
on
yourself.
So how did that feel for you to also always have been used to create stealth games, like the Hitman series, which I all played, and then suddenly it was an explosion of action.
Yeah. No, I'm so happy to hear that reaction from you, because that's exactly what we were going for. From the outright, we set out to create a completely original, not just story, but experience as well. So yes, we have the strength that we get to lay on over 25 years of agent fantasy, stealth action there. But we wanted to also make sure that you should never feel, punished if suddenly you find yourself out of stealth. We want to make sure that that it's fun for you as well. Not giving you a moment where you're trying to have your best stealth run and suddenly it's like, now okay, maybe let me try again, or like, no, in the moment. The situation escalates. How fast can you think on your feet? That's part of Bond's improvisation. That is his character, right? He's a hothead, but he's quick to solve solutions. So whether you go into fist fighting, or if the enemy meets you with a lot of force with weaponry, license to kill, you go ahead. Situation contained, done, back into stealth. So the focus for us is also a lot of forward momentum. Keeping that up. So the examples you gave are some of my favorite as well. Running out of bullets and just throwing the gun, making a weapon itself. That is so James Bond. He improvises in the moment, and we keep the action flowing. So that is definitely core to the experience we want to go, and that is where we lean into that action adventure side of the game. So I'm very happy that you saw that, and that's what we're going for. It's a cinematic experience, true. Like I said, it's for gaming. It's a new experience when it comes to Bond.
Yeah. Also, when we saw the presentation, at a certain moment, the woman who assisted you said, in fact, when you have missions, we have two kinds of gameplay. When you play the stealth part, you have, let's say, some kind of open world. You can use your own creativity to complete the mission.
Yeah.
Like whatever you do. And then secondly, there's also the linear part where you need to follow the story. Did I understand that right?
Yes, exactly. So our approach, we look at it as almost like a breathing gameplay. So sometimes we take things a little bit more linear and because we're aiming to drive the story forward, to drive the action forward, to drive the gameplay forward, and we have a story to tell that we, as I said in the very beginning, we're very excited for this narrative that you're going to go on to earn the number and for Bond to go for his purpose, and moving the story along like that. At other points, we go to a bit more open missions where we then open it up again, and then there's a variety of approaches that you can make. That's the creative approach that we're also known for, but that we put the Bond spin on. So obviously, QLab has equipped you with a bunch of different gadgetry.
Yeah.
Exactly, that's one of the examples. The Omega Q Watch. Housed in there, you get to hack systems. Later, you get a laser strap that you can add to that. So there's a sense of progression throughout the gadgets flowing into the gameplay. And so as Bond gets better and progresses, your creativity gets to expand as well, and you decide, be Bond your way.
Yeah, another thing that we saw was in the beginning when he was taking the scenic route, talking about details again, the graphics. I think it's one of the most beautiful games we saw. Like even the Jaguar with the green color, you saw the reflection of the sun, but even you saw the Jaguar XG,
Yes, exactly.
XJ,
Yeah, XJ, yeah.
and you saw it rained, you saw the rain, the road was wet, you saw the sun reflecting in.
You were really paying attention. I can tell that. I'm very happy to hear that.
Can you say that again?
I was just saying he was really paying attention.
Yeah.
Like,
I think that all of that gives an extra to the cinematic feeling too.
Yes.
Were you trying to create a video game, or should I say a cinematic video game experience?
That's probably more accurate. That is definitely what we're going for. You know, that cinematic interactive experience, because that's what you expect from Bond. You know, that's what you expect from this caliber, from this IP. I'm very happy that you picked up on all these little details.
Yeah,
for example,
the interior, the gold bladders on the wall, the ceiling, the furniture.
Exactly.
So
I mean, what would James Bond be without the Jaguar, without the Land Rover, without the Aston
The
Martin?
mysterious lady.
Yes, all of that, all of these is what you come to. This is what you come to expect from a Bond experience, and we cannot wait. It's complete. This wholly original experience that has all the familiarity that Bond fans would come to know and love, but as well that action adventure side. We're just so excited for players to experience it.
I have time for last one question. Since you're such an expert and you have the right to vote, who must play the new James Bond? If it's up to you.
That is a little bit outside my wheelhouse, I would say. But I think all of us have a lot of trust in the filmmakers. They know what they're doing. If that's what you're speaking about. For me, my focus right now is on 007 First Light, and I'm very excited about that.
I suppose this is another teachable moment.